أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما ربي زدني علما. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you all in another live session on the short surahs. So our today's topic is Surah Kaferoon. Inshallah, we will be looking at it ayah by ayah, the reading, tajweed, breakdown of the rules, and everything which we can cover inshallah. If you have any questions, you can ask me during the session, and inshallah I will answer them towards the end of the session. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. قل يا أيها الكافرون. So in the word قل, you have to make this qaf heavy because this is from the musta'aliya letters. If you say قل, then it will be wrong. The meaning of the word قل is to say. If you make it with a light kaf, قل, the meaning will be to eat. Ya ayyuhal, ya ayyuhal. So here ya is having vertical fatha, and after that hamza is there. So here the stretch will be up to 3 alif. 2.5 alif. Ya ayyuhal. Ya ayyuhal kafirun. Kaf is light. And here in the word roon. Let me tell you the rule here. So this waw is madda here, and after that we are making this noon sakin by ourselves because we are pausing here. If we do so, then we have to stretch it up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif. The best is to stretch it up to 3 alif. That's why we have to read kafirun. قل يا أيها الكافرون. قل يا أيها الكافرون. قاف لام دما قل. Ya vertical fatha plus there is a mad, so we will elongate it. Hamza ya fatha ay ya dama you ayyu. Ha lam fatha ayyuhal. Kaf vertical fatha ka. Fa kasra fi kafi. Ra waw dama ru and nun sakin. So here we will apply the rule of madde arid lissukun. قل يا أيها الكافرون. Next is لا أعبد ما تعبدون. This ayn is from the middle of the throat. Never read it abu because it will replace itself with the hamza. And in the word لا أعبد, alif is madda. What are the madda letters? So let me tell you about alif madda. So whenever you see the alif and before that if you see there is a fatha, if this situation occurs, then alif is madda, and we read madda letters by stretching them up to 1 alif or a slight stretch, or you can say by elongating them for the 1 second. So it's la. But here after alif as a madda you see hamza. Okay, alif is called hamza when it's having fatha, kasra, dhamma, sukun or any sign. So here this alif is acting as a hamza. So whenever you see this situation that in one word you have madda letters, and soon after madda letter you see that next word is starting from the hamza, so then this mad is called madde munfasil, the detached mad, and amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. So you have to read la abudu, la abudu, ayn from the middle of the throat. Okay, la abudu ma ta'budun. Again same, alif is not having any sign on top, so it's alif here, and before alif you see the fatha on the meme, so this makes this alif madda. So here we will give it a slight we will elongate it. Ma ta'budun, la a'budu ma ta'budun. Now again in the word ta'budun, ayn is from the middle of the throat. When you try to pronounce it from the middle of the throat, try never to give it a pause. Never say ta'a. You have to read ta'budu, ta'budun. Here waw is madda. When waw is madda, because before waw sakin if you see the dhamma on the previous letter, this makes the waw madda. So here waw is madda, and we are making noon sakin by ourselves because we are pausing, ayah is completing. So if you do so, you have to stretch this waw up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif. So if you have done the stretching here up to 3 alif, you have to do the same here. So never make like here you have done 1, here you will do 2.5 or 3. So stick to the 1 amount, and the best is to do the tul. Tul means to stretch up to 3. Kafirun, like this. Ta'budun. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا antum. Now I have said antum. So noon is sakin here. Noon is silent, and soon after noon sakin, you see there is letter ta. Ta is from the ikhwa letters, so you have to hide this noon sound. Wala antum, wala antum, abiduna ma abud. So here you have madde munfasil, and here you again have madde munfasil. So what is madde munfasil? If you see that after madda letters, hamza is in the next word, then it is madde munfasil, and then the amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. So you will say wala antum, wala antum, wala antum abiduna ma abud, ma abud. So this and this are the same rule. Here you have madde munfasil, you have madde munfasil, 2.5 alif is the stretching amount. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد bud. So here you're pausing at dal, and dal is from the qalqala letters. What are the qalqala letters? Qalqala letters are such letters when they are sakin, means silent, there is a bounce or reflection in their sound, or you can say these are the echo producing sounds. So when you say bud, bud, you will see that there is a reflection in the sound or the makhraj. So when the letters these are silent and occurring at the end of the word, then the qalqala, the echoing or the bouncing will be strong. If they are in between somewhere, then the qalqala will be weak. Okay, here we have strong qalqala. Arabud, arabud, wala antum abiduna ma abud, wala antum عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا. You can't read أنا. You have to skip this alif here. Okay, this is additional alif. You have to say أنا ولا أنا عابد ما عابد ما. So after tanween or noon sakin, if you see the letter meme, meme is from the Yarmalun family. So if you see so, then it will be idgham here. Idgham means to merge the sound. Plus you will do nasalization in the meme sound or the gunna. Abidum ma, abidum ma, abattum, abattum. Never read it abadtum. This word is abattum. You have to drop this dal here. So what is the rule here? Let's see. So if you see that one letter is having fatha, kasra, dhamma, any sign, second letter is your silent letters or sakina, okay, having sakoon, and on the third letter if you see there is a shadda or tashdeed, so our preference is to join the fatha, kasra, dhamma ones with the shadda one. So whatever comes between, we drop it, because if you open this letter ta, you will see there are two tas. One is having sukoon and one is having dhamma on the top. So if we read this one, then we have to drop that one, but we can't. So we will drop this one and we will say ain fata'a ba ta fata bat, abat, and ta mim dhamma tum, abattum. Okay, so if you read abadtum, then one ta is missing, which we can't miss because there is tashdid. So built-in ta is here, which you can't remove. This one you can remove. So you have to say abattum. Wala ana abidum ma abattum, abidum ma abidum ma abattum. So you have to do here idgham with gunna, merging, as well as you have to do nasalization in the meme sound. ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد. Again, the ayah number third and fifth are the same. So same rules will be there. Ending is with the qalqala letter. So there will be a strong qalqala. There will be a strong echo in the sound. So you have to say bud, bud. Okay. Then next is lakum dinukum waliyadeen. Again, here we have applied madde arid listakun here as well. And here we have again second last letter as a madda letter, and after that we are making the last letter silent by ourselves. If we do so, we have three options. We can either stretch this madda letter up to 1 alif or 2.5 or 3. So if we are doing 3 here, we have to stick to the same amount, and the 3 is the best to do that. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Let's recite it one more time, and this time I want you to focus on the maddat, okay, the stretching, where I'm stretching and how much, and then inshallah I will explain it again. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. So here the stretch is 2.5 alif, and in the word kafirun, this is madde arid lissukun, so stretch is 3. Then here you have madde munfasil, stretched is 2.5. So 2.5, 3, 2.5. Then here you have again madde arid lissukun, 3. Then here again you have madde munfasil, amount of stretching is 2.5. Then here again madde munfasil 2.5 alifs. Here again madde munfasil 2.5 alif. Idgham is up to 1 alif, is fine. Abattum, there is nothing. Here is madde munfasil, again the amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. And for the ikhfa, and there is a difference between ghunna and ikhfa, I will come to this point also. So this is 1 alif, and then you have here again madde munfasil, so amount of stretching is 2.5. And in the word deen, so this is madde arid lissakun, amount of stretching is 3. Now I will recite again, and I want you to observe how I'm stretching and how much I'm stretching. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Now, let me clear the difference between idgham, meaning gunna, if you do the gunna in the noon, sakin or meme sound, or if you do the ikhfa. So first of all, the word idgham means to merge. And when we merge by doing gunna or without gunna. And when you do the gunna, your tongue is touching the upper palate and it's tightly compressed with the upper palate. Okay? But when you do the ikhfa, your tongue shouldn't be touching anywhere in your mouth. It must be suspending in the air, okay, like in the mouth, and it shouldn't be touching anywhere. The moment you touch your tongue somewhere by saying antum, if you say antum, you will end up doing gunna. Ikhfa is hiding, gunna is nasalization. Okay, ikhfa is hiding the sound. You can't complete the sound of the noon. You have to say antum. But when you're doing gunna, it's arabidumma, dumma. Your tongue is touching your upper palate. Try saying arabidumma, arabidumma, abattum. Now try saying wala antum, antum. Tongue is not touching anywhere. The moment I will touch my tongue with the upper palate, I will end up doing gunna here. So this is the difference between ikhfa and gunna. Ikhfa is your hiding, gunna is your nasalization, which is taking the sound of the noon into the nose. Okay. Now, so let's see again. Qul, qaf is heavy, and here you have to stretch up to 2.5 alif. Ya ayyuhal kafirun. So here you will do madde arid lissukun, which is temporary mad, because we are pausing this noon, so you have to stretch it up to 3 alif. La a'budu ma ta'budun ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Let's recite one more time, then we will try doing the spelling of the whole surah, inshallah, ayah by ayah. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. قاف لام دمة قل. قاف is heavy. قل. Ya vertical fatha. Ya, and there is mad, so we will stretch it. Hamza, ya, fatha, ay, ya dama you, ayyu. Ha, lam fatha, hal, ayyuhal. Kaf, vertical fatha, ka, fa kasra, fi, kafi. Ra, waw dama ru, nun sakin, kafirun. Qul, يا أيها الكافرون قل يا أيها الكافرون Lam, Alif, Fatha, La. So Alif is Madda here, and because of that, if you see Hamza in the next word, you will do Madde Munfasil. So stretching amount is 2.5. Hamza, Ain, Fatha, A. Alif is called Hamza when it's having Fatha, Kusra, Dhamma or Anis on top of it. So here the by look it's Alif, but it's acting as Hamza. Its rules are the same we are having for the original Hamza. Hamza, Ain, Fatha, Ar. Ain is from the middle of the throat and it's a bit squeezing sound. Okay, try to say it from the middle of the throat. Ar, bu. Arabu, ba dama bu, dal dama du. Arabudu. La arabudu. La abudu. Mim, alif, fatha, ma. So if you see there is alif and before that if you see fatha, this makes this alif madda. Madda letters are such letters, we read them by stretching up to one alif. So you have to, instead of saying ma ta'budun, you have to say ma ta'budun. Ta, ain, fatha, ta, ba dama bu. Ta'bu, dal, waw dama du. Ta'budu, and noon sakin, because we are pausing here, sentence is completing, ayah is completing, so it's a full stop, you can say. So when you do so, you make the noon sakin. And if you make the noon sakin, and if your second last letter is your madda letter, which waw is here a madda letter, then you have to stretch up to 3 alif, which is the best practice. You can do 1, you can do 2.5 also, but the best is to stretch up to 3 alif. لا أعبد ما تعبدون لا أعبد ما تعبدون قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون. Next ayah is ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد. Waw fatha wa, lam, alif fatha la. Here alif is madda again. I will again explain what are the madda letters. So if you see before alif there is a fatha. So this alif will be read by stretching up to one alif. Madda letters are such letters which we read by stretching them up to one alif, same like vertical harkat. But here after the madda letter you see there is a hamza. Okay, alif is called hamza when it's having fatha kasra dhamma. And if you see the hamza in the next word, because these are two words, la is one word, antum is another word. So if you see that one word is ending with the madda letters, next is starting with your hamza, then the amount of stretching will be 2.5. This is madde munfasil here. Wala antum, wala antum. Here I said antum. I haven't read this noon clear. I have hidden the sound of the noon. This rule is called ikhfa. Ikhfa means hiding. Okay, so when you see after noon sakin any ikhfa letters, these are 15. So ta is one of them. So after noon sakin there is a letter ta. Ta is from the ikhfa letters, so we hide the sound of the noon. Wala antum, antum. And while hiding, you have to be careful. Your tongue shouldn't be touching anywhere in your mouth. The moment you touch your tongue to your upper palate, you will end up doing ghunna. We don't want ghunna here. We have to do ikhfa here. Ikhfa is hiding. Wala antum, antum, abiduna. عابدون ما عابد. So in the word عابدون, Ain is from the middle of the throat as well as it's having vertical fatha. So these vertical fathas or small alifs telling you that you have to stretch them. Okay, about 1 second, that much. عابدون دون. Before waw sakin, again you have a dhamma. So here waw is madda. So when it comes to reading of the madda letters and the vertical harkat, they are exactly the same. We read them by stretching. عابدون عين vertical fatha a ba kasra b عابي dal waw dhamma du nun fatha na عابدون عابدون ما عابد ما عابد. So here the amount of stretching of this alif is 2.5. Why? Because alif itself is a madda here. Okay, because before alif you have fatha. So if you see this situation and then next word is starting with the hamza, you stretch up to 2.5 alif. Now you can say this is not hamza, this is alif. So I will clear again. Whenever you see any sign on top of alif, this makes alif madda, or sorry, alif hamza. So here alif is hamza. Okay, it's acting as a hamza. Basically by looks it's alif. Okay, but its rules are different now. This is alif because it's not having any sign. This is just a mad sign. But here it's having a harka of the fatha, so this makes it hamza. If you see this situation, then to stretch this alif, which is madda, up to 2.5 alif. Okay, so you have to read ma'abud, mim alif fatha ma, hamza ain fatha a, ma'a, ba dama bu, and dal is sakin. Ba dal dama bud. This is qalqala letter, dal is qalqala letter, so there will be a bounce or reflection in the sound. So you have to read ma'abud, bud. So you will see that voice is like a striking somewhere and reflecting back. So there will be echo in the maharij. Okay. ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ما عابد. So here the amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. Then you have to do ikhfa, hide the sound. Here amount of stretching is again 2.5 alif. Okay, so observe how we have to read by stretching. ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد عابد قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم. Waw fatha wa, lam alif fatha la. Again before alif you see there is a fatha. So this alif is madda here. We read madda letters by stretching up to 1 alif. But here we will stretch alif up to 2.5. Why? Because after that you see there is a hamza. So we will apply the rule of madde munfasil. This is when you see that there is a madda letter and in the next word you see the hamza is there. So next, if the next word is starting with a hamza, this will be madde munfasil, and the amount of stretching of this madda letter here will be 2.5 alif instead of 1. Wala ana. I haven't read it ana because this alif is additional here, so we have to avoid it. We have to say ana. Wala ana abidum abidum. Ain is a halkiya letter and it's from the middle of the throat. If you don't make it from the middle of the throat, it will replace itself with the hamza or alif, and there will be lahne Jali, the clear mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic words. Same goes with the qul. If you say kul, it means to eat. If you say qul, it means to say. So you have to make kaf heavy as well. Ain alifata a, ba kasra bi, arabi. I haven't read it abi, arabi, because alif is madda. Then dal, mim to dama, dum, arabidum, arabidum, mim alifata ma, arabidum, 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 abattum, abattum. Never read it abadtum. Okay, I will explain this rule again. ولا أنا عابد ما أبدتم ولا أنا عابد ما دم, merging as well as nasalization. So here is idgham with a gunna. عابد ما أبدتم عبدتم. عين فتاة با تا فتى بت عبدت تا ميم دمتم عبدتم. What about this dal? Why we are not reading it? So remember a simple rule. Whenever you see that there are three letters A, B, C, okay? Letter A is having any harka. It can be fatha, kasra, dhamma. Letter B is sakin, silent. Okay, this silent is not like English silent where you just exclude the letter. In Arabic, silent letters are such letters where the sound is paused. Okay, they are existing but their sound is paused. They are dependent. They are dependent. They are not independent like fatha, kasra, dhamma one. Okay, so if letter A is having any sign like a fatha, kasra, dhamma, letter B is your sakin letter, okay, having sukun, and letter C is having your shadda. So what is the ruling here? You will drop the letter B. Okay, so whatever comes between the fatha, kasra, dhamma and the shadda ones, we will drop it and we will directly join the letter having fatha, kasra, dhamma with the shadda one. Okay, because here if you open this shadda, you will see there is already one ta with sukun and other ta is having this dhamma sign on the top. Okay, so we have to read that ta with this ba. In order to do so, we have to drop this dal. So you have to read abattum, abattum. If you read abadtum, then we are dropping, missing one ta here, which do so because it's like a compulsory because of the shadda here. Ain fata'a ba ta fata bat abat ta mim dama tum abattum abattum wala ana abidum ma abattum wala ana abidum ma abattum ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد. Bud, I've read. I haven't said عابد. عابد. Dal. Dal is from the qalqala letter, so there should be a strong qalqala. There should be echo or bouncing in the sound or reflection of your sound as if it's striking the makhraj and coming back. ولا أنتم عابدون ma'abud, bud. Okay, so same like ayah number 3, the rulings are same, but let me explain again. Waw fatha wa, lam alif fatha la. So before alif, if you see there is a fatha, alif is madda then. Okay, we read madda letters by stretching up to 1 alif, but here I have stretched up to 2.5 alif. Why? Because soon after that you see there is hamza. Okay, alif is called hamza if it's having fatha kasra dhamma. So after this alif, if you see hamza in the next word, then you have to apply madde munfasil rule here. Okay, madde munfasil is the name. Just remember the amount of stretching is 2.5 alif. Okay, so you have to read instead of alif as 1, you will stretch it up to 2.5 counts. Wala antum, wala antum, antum. Okay, and then here you have to hide this noon sound because this is ikhfa here. Ikhfa means hiding. Wala antum, antum. Okay, never read it antum or antum. So your tongue shouldn't be touching anywhere when you're saying wala antum, Antum. You don't need to complete the sound of noon. Antum. No. Antum. That's it. Okay, incomplete. And it's ikhfa, it's hiding. Then Ain, vertical fatha, so vertical harkat, like vertical fatha kusra dhamma, which we also call khada zabar khari zel ulta pe. If you see so, you have to also stretch them up to one alif, like equal to 1 second, or the amount you take to say alif one time, that much. Abi duna. So before waw sakin there is dhamma. This waw is madda. Okay, this also you will stretch up to one alif. Abiduna ma'abud ma'abud. So here alif is madda because there is a fatha before it, and soon after alif you see hamza in the next word. Okay, this is one word, this is second word, and here our first word is ending with alif as a madda, and second is starting with the hamza. So here alif is acting as a hamza. This is not original hamza, but whenever you give any sign on top of alif, this makes it hamza. Okay, so ma'abud. Then if this is the case, this is madda munfasil here. We have to stretch this alif, which is madda, up to 2.5 counts instead of 1. So you have to say ma'abud. Abud. Hamza ain fatha. Ain is from the middle of your throat. Again, I'm telling you that if you say abud, you don't say ain from the middle of the throat, then it will end up, you will end up saying it as hamza or alif. Okay, and the moment we change or replace the letters like this, it will change the meaning of the Quranic words. This is lahne jali, the clear mistakes which are forbidden to make, and they can change the meaning of Quranic word. Wala antum abiduna ma'abud. Bud. Dal is from the qalqala letters. The word qalqala means echo or reflection or the movement in the makhraj. Makhraj is the place of pronunciation from where the letters leave or from where the letters are pronounced. So here will be bounce in that dal, or you can see that, or you can feel that your voice is reflecting back. Bud, bud. And this qalqala is strong, okay, because you are having dal as sakin, because we made it sakin. We are pausing here. So this qalqala, this echo will be strong. Bud, bud, bud. And in order to say ain from the middle of the throat, try not to give it a sudden pause. Don't say arabud, arabud, arabud. Okay. ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. لام فتح لا काफ मीम दमा कुम लकुम दाल या कसरा दी लकुम दी नून दमा नू लकुम दीनु काफ मीम दमा कुम लकुम दीनुकुम वाव فتح वा लाम कसरा ली वली या فتح या वलिया dal ya kasra di, and noon is sakin because we are pausing here. Okay, it's like a full stop. When you complete the sentence, you put a full stop at the end of it. So here this ayah is completing, so we have to drop the harkas on noon by making it sakin, okay, by making it silent. And if you do so, if your second last letter is your madda letter, which ya is madda here because before ya sakin you have kasra. So if your second last letter is madda letter and you make the last letter silent, then you have to apply the rule of madde arid lis sukun. This is temporary stretch. Okay, this is like a one type of the mad, like madde muttasil, munfasil, arid. Okay, lean, arid, all these are the type of stretching. So instead of stretching one, you have to stretch up to 3 alif here, which is best to do so if this is a lean letter, you will stretch up to 1 alif, it's best. But if you see that these are the madda letters, then you will stretch up to 3 alif, and this is the best to do. Waliyadeen. Okay, let's do one more recitation. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين لكم دينكم ولي دين قل يا أيها الكافرون يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. If you have any question regarding any rule anywhere in these 6 ayahs, please let me know and then I will go over it again. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm reciting, so if you want to recite after me, you can also do so. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you don't have, then I will ask the questions and I want you to tell me the rules if you have understood it better. So, here in the word tum, I haven't read noon clear. So, have I done ikhfa here or here? What's the rule here? I'm reading again. Wala antum. Antum. Is it ikhfa or is it a gunna? Anyone? Okay, let me tell you. It's ikhfa here. You have to exactly. Mirab Tanveer, you have answered it very right. Yes, it is. Very good. If you want, you can write in Urdu also. I can understand. I can speak Urdu. So here, tum. Yes. So after noon sakin, you see there is letter ta and it's from the ikhfa letters. So you have to hide this noon sound. Very good. Now, tell me if there is any difference between ikhfa and gunna. Okay. So ikhfa is this tum and gunna is abidumma abidumma. So tell me, can you tell is there any difference between ikhfa and gunna or are these the same things? Anyone can answer this question? I'm repeating again. So one is wala antum and here I have said abidumma عابدم. So is there any difference? Okay, so let me explain. In the ikhfa, when you have to hide the sound, you shouldn't be touching anywhere in the mouth. It will be suspending, or it will be like this. You don't need to complete the noon sound. But when you are doing gunna, your tongue is tightly compressed, or you can say it's touching the upper palate, your upper mouth. So try saying arbad abidumma and observe that your tongue is touching your upper palate. Or try saying a simple word like inna. Okay, you will see your tongue is touching the upper palate. But when you're doing ikhfa, you don't have to touch your tongue anywhere. Otherwise, you will end up doing ghunna. So mostly students are confused between what is ikhfa and what is ghunna. Ikhfa is hiding the sound and ghunna is nasalization. Okay, this is ikhfa. Wala antum antum. I haven't read it antum. The moment I said wala antum, I touch my tongue to the palate, upper palate or upper mouth, then I will end up doing ghunna. Okay, so here we have to do ikhfa. Antum. This is ghunna. عابدما عابدما أبدتم. Okay, good. Next question is this word abadtum, or do I have to read it abattum? Which pronunciation is correct? First or second? Do I need to read it abadtum, or can I read it abattum? What's the correct option, number one or option number two? I'm repeating again. Is this word abadtum, which is number one option, or is it abattum? Good. All answers Mirab is giving. Anywhere, anybody else here who can tell the difference? Then I will reveal the answer. Okay. I'm repeating again. Is this word is abadtum, or do we need to read it abattum? Are we dropping the dal? Is it this much abattum, or is it abad? Okay. So Mirab, you are correct. Answer option number two is the correct answer. So you have to read it abattum. The moment you will say abadtum, this is incorrect. Okay. So you have to read abattum, abattum. Ain fata'a, ba ta fata bat, ta mim damatum, abattum. Now my next question is, do I need to read this word ana, or is it ana? Wala ana abidum ma abattum. What's correct? Option number one, is it ana, or option two, which is ana? Is it ana or is it ana? Exactly. So here this alif is additional basically. So you have to, yes, you have to drop this because you have to read continuously. You have to continuously keep on reading the next word. You can't pause here. If you're pausing, then you can make it functional. But here we are not pausing. We can't break the word. You have to see wala ana abidum ma abattum. There is no sign of pause. So we will drop this alif. Okay, good. Good, Mirab, you are giving all the answers right. I want other to participate also. And one more time, I'm reading all the surah. Try to see where I'm stretching and how much is the amount of stretching. And especially focus on the halkiya letter, which is ayn from the middle of the throat. And if you replace it, then it will be lahne jali, the clear mistakes which can change the meaning of Quranic word. Same is qul. If you say kul with the light kaf, the meaning will be to eat. If you read qul with the heavy kaf, the meaning is to say. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Now in the word kafirun, ta'budun, deen, you have option to stretch these second last letters, which are your mother letters, up to 1 or 2.5 or 3 alif. Okay, but the best is mustahab is to read it up to 3 alif, like to stretch it up to 3 alif. Okay, now in this word bud, bud, and here again in this ayah bud, I have emphasized on the dal. I have done some um, bouncing here. Can you tell me the name of this rule? Yes, kalqala. Meetup today, all answers you're gonna give. Nobody else is participating, but your knowledge is accurate. Very good. Yes, this is qalqala. Qalqala is the bouncing in the sound. And how many letters of qalqala are there? Can anyone tell? Qalqala means reflection or echo or in movement in the makhraj. Can anybody tell how many letters of qalqala are there? Don't Google search it. If you know by your knowledge, tell me, otherwise I will answer it. So this word is arabud. Here is also arabud. 5 letters of qalqala are there. Qaf, which is this heavy kaf. 5. Yes, pism. You're correct. No mirab, not 1. 5 qalqala letter. In this surah, yes, this is 1. There is 1. But in general, I'm asking there are 5 letters of qalqala. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. This qaf, okay, ta, the heavy ta, which is in Urdu we also call toy, okay. Qaf, the ba is qalqala letter, jim, dal. Qaf is a qalqala letter. It's a musta'aliya letter as well as qalqala letters. So there are 5 qalqala letters. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. Okay. So when you see them with the sukoon on top of it and they are occurring as a last letter like this, qalqala will be strong. If you see them in between somewhere in the word, qalqala will be weak. And if you see that they are in the last and they are silent and having shadda on the top, then qalqala will be the strongest. Okay, so 3 levels of qalqala are there. Qalqala can be weak, it can be strong, and it can be strongest. So in this case, the qalqala is strong, okay, because dal is coming as a last letter and we have to make it silent because we have to pause after that. Okay, so it's arabud, arabud. So let's recite again. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Now, can someone tell me the pronunciation of Ain? Which letter is it? Ain, and from where it is pronounced? Anyone? Arabud. Try saying it and observe from where Ain is. Halaq. Yes, halaq is throat in Arabic. Haruf. Mirab, what you have written? Harufe? Rewrite it. It's from the halaq. Okay, and which part of halaq Ain is pronounced from? Okay, so Ain is from the middle of the throat. Okay, our throat is divided into three parts: upper, middle, and lower. And from each part of the throat, two letters are pronounced. From the lower part of the throat, you have Hamza and Ha. From the middle part of the throat, you have Ain and Ha. And from the upper part of the throat, you have Ghain and Kha. Okay, so Ain and Ha are from the very middle part of the throat. Ain is a bit squeezing sound, and Ha is you have to exhale the air out in order to say Ha. Okay, so Ain is from the Harufi Halkiya. If you don't pronounce it from the middle of the throat, you will end up saying Alif or Hamza pronunciation. Okay, so you have to avoid this. So let's do one more final revision, inshallah, and after that we will end our today's session. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما عابد لكم دينكم ولي دين. Sadaqallahul Azim. So let's end our session by reading the salawat on Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam one time. And inshallah, in the next session, I will continue the short surah series with the, inshallah, in the next session, we will do Surah Al Kawthar. Stay tuned, keep learning. And for the other Ramadan series, I am coming live every evening, every night, actually, 10 p.m. UK time. So if you want to learn the Quran with tajweed, stay tuned and subscribe so you can get the notification when I'm coming live. Okay, so let's end our session. Let's recite durood on Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Jazakumullah khair for all of you watching, and inshallah keep learning. I will see you in the next one, which will be on Surah Al Kawthar. Stay tuned and have a good Ramadan. Inshallah, I'm signing out now. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.